into the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Knock on our door.
We've been waiting for you.
We've been waiting for you guys.
With the letters, hers and his, three's company too.
Hey, what's up, guys, and welcome to the America's Got Talent After Show here at AfterBuzz TV.
I don't know the words at all.
And
your face, three's company too.
all right, so I am Kaori Takee, and you can find me at Kaori, is Kaorious, right down there, and you can tweet me all along. And also,
I know.
you guys are so just.
Hey,
head
we're being
in the
inappropriate.
gutter.
This is a family show for families. Families watch America's Got Talent, and only families situation should happen on this AfterBuzz.
Oh my
This
gosh.
is Daniel Weiss. You
People
can find
shouldn't.
him.
People definitely shouldn't check out our show and know exactly what happens.
Well, I'm just gonna say
They
that
should expect it to be a family show, and then just tune in for families.
And that's why
That's it.
you guys shouldn't listen to them as much, because if you are a podcaster and you're just listening, I was pointing down at a lower third with my spelling of my Twitter handle on it. So think PC, guys, think PC. So again, Kaorious, and you can also send us your comments and all that good stuff at hashtag ABTVAGT. Why are you looking all upset?
What? Oh, I was zoning out. I don't pay attention to you
That's
most of the
true.
time.
He doesn't pay attention, but somehow we make it to a couple seasons together, and it's been enjoyable. But where can people follow you in the meantime, too?
Hi, I'm Daniel Weiss, and you can follow me to the river
That's a nice place to go.
if you're a lemming.
Oh,
Follow you to the river. It sounds like a place that a psychopath would go and murder
Take
somebody.
me to the river. I might. You can also follow me on It's Daniel Weiss on the Twitter devices. Kevin John. Hey, it's Kevin John on Twitter. Let's get right into it. We're running behind.
are we? Oh, that's all right. Let's.
Hey, Kevin John. Oh, by
Kevin,
the way,
introduce yourself again.
please introduce yourself.
Hi, guys. I am Kevin John, and I make out the third member of this highly esteemed and prolific panel that we have to talk about America's Got Talent. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Hey Kevin John, and Kaori is dying to say something right now, so she's going to hold that thought while I continue telling you that you could also follow me on my web. No, go ahead.
No, it's fine. I would just want to explain that the reason why we should be all introducing ourselves is because so people who are listening and not
Correct.
watching can hear our voices and get it, engage in it. There you go.
I would like to say really quick,
Sure.
having you both back here on behalf of myself and everybody who listened and watched last week, congratulations, you guys. You, I think, are going to make it. Let's move on.
I will say, before we move on, that I really missed you guys. I haven't seen both of you in the past 2 weeks because we just happened to our paths didn't
We all
cross.
know why.
So now we're all back.
We all know why.
There's really
But let's
no-
continue.
I mean, we don't know why. But, all right, so overall...
You know who does know why? Nora
What?
Jones.
Anyway, so you guys...
I'll wait for you to get that one. Go ahead.
I totally got it, but we're moving on. So we are here talking the live rounds of second round of live shows.
Second round of live shows.
What'd you guys think of this one overall before we go in and give our assessments?
I thought it was deflated. There are a couple people I was happy to see, but then the rest, I was like, okay. Well, there were people that I really wanted to see that I thought underperformed, so I was disappointed in general. And then I saw a commercial for next week's show, and I'm even less enthused. But as far as this week's show, I just thought that everybody, for the most, I feel like 80% of the people that were really good did not have as good of a performance.
You know, I felt like last week's episode was really strong and they had a lot of performers, and this one kind of had a lot of people falling flat or not doing the best that we've seen them. I've seen them do better in different auditions. So I was a little disappointed that these were the live rounds and this was supposed to be the spectacular show, and it was a little bit of a letdown, save a couple performances. Kevin, what did you think?
You know what I kind of felt like? And I'm just going to be straight up cutthroat honest.
Sure.
I felt like at this particular show, there was those stagehands, or not stagehands, but there were those screens that flashed up that says clap now or applause. And I think there were some that came up and said standing ovation applause after some of the acts, because some of those acts, there was no way on earth that I feel that they warranted a standing ovation for what they did.
They also had
I'll
signs,
get down to that later.
They also had signs that said, boo the judges no matter what.
I know. Yeah, I agree.
Well, I thought you guys were okay. Boo!
Yeah.
Seriously, like I think I was a little frustrated with this show. I think that the 2 or 3 good acts that did go up were not enough to just. There was just some serious atrocity in this show, which I will talk about later.
Can we actually get standing ovation for everything that we say?
That would be crazy. Who would be standing? There's nobody here.
Well,
Ghost audience?
Yeah.
Well, our engineers can
they're all
stand up.
standing.
Okay, fine, guys, sit down. Thank you so much. Keep going. Guys, thank you so much.
Alexis in the booth, thank you. She
You're
just
welcome.
lifted my spirits so much. Okay, so let's get into this. Let's talk about DM Nation. I love you guys. Don't worry, I do. Okay, so DM Nation.
I love you too, Carrie.
Oh, moments. Yay, standing ovation, silence. Okay. So, DM Nation, what do you guys think of these dancers?
No, DM Nation. They were awesome. Daniel, go ahead and take it, because I'm still getting my thoughts together.
Let's go play with what you actually thought
I'm
about
still
it, Kevin.
No, because their performance was very, very intense. There was a lot.
Here's what I'll be. So here's what I didn't understand.
Finish.
No, he can comment.
I'm still gathering my thoughts. Go ahead.
I don't understand. I get that it was more of a beach theme, but the fact that they had, No, seriously, the fact that they had the one girl dressed as a dolphin and they were flipping her, I thought was a little weird.
Oh, yeah, that dolphin part. What'd you think of that dolphin part, Kevin?
You know, my thing is this. Sometimes you just got to be creative and do creative things. And see, the fact that the dolphin part it hit is because we're sitting here talking about it.
Right.
Had they not did the dolphin, we wouldn't have been here talking about it. So obviously, it was thrown in there for a reason, and it served its purpose. Yes. Go ahead, Daniel. Go ahead.
Definitely happened.
The what?
That definitely happened.
That dolphin part totally happened.
Exactly.
Here's the
By
thing.
the way, I was being facetious with all of that. Go ahead.
Maybe you need to look up facetious. I felt we might get
facetious.
Professor Weiss in here. I felt that they were a very good dance group, and that's it. It was nothing spectacular to me. I felt that every single time I've seen them, they were precise, but they always seem the same.
That's the thing. I completely agree with Howard Stern's assessment, where he was basically saying he felt like they were pretty much doing the same dance moves over and over again, but just with different music. And they're really good and talented, but I felt the same exact feeling. Oh, it's a Janet Jackson-esque dance troupe, and it just didn't wow me at this point when I'm watching them for the third time. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, here's the thing. You know, and this is my final say-so about this
Okay,
performance.
we really want to hear about this. And the
then we want
dolphins.
to talk about the fine carpet scene.
Yeah.
Oh my God, dude! I thought I was watching Aladdin when that happened.
Right.
But anyways, so you know the thing is, it's okay to pay homage to a group. You know, Janet Jackson, Michael, whoever, because those people are pioneers. But I just feel with this group, I feel that the choreography was not as impressive. I mean, it was okay, but it came really repetitive, and I just don't feel that there was there was not just enough in depth when it came to it. And I would have liked to see more depth, more levels with it. But they were great. I mean, not great, but they were good.
Yeah.
They were above average. They were good, but it wasn't knock your pants off the socks kind of dancing.
I think I would have liked it better if they had better choreography.
Did you say choreography?
Yes, I did.
That was so clever. But let's ask Kevin real quick. What'd you think of the next act, Derek Hughes, the magician?
Oh, this guy. The thing that I like about this guy is he's very unpredictable. we've seen him in his last few acts. You never know what it is. So I love the element of surprise and the element of unpredictability.
Anyone can make a card disappear.
Joe, you're evil.
He made a dolphin disappear mid-flip, and I thought that was really interesting. The dolphin was flipping up out of the water, and he made it straight disappear.
I wonder if he can make you disappear right now.
No one can.
Well,
I'm everywhere. I'm in your dreams.
In all seriousness, Derek Hughes, he adds comedy in his act, which helps a lot because a lot of times magicians take a long time to set up, so you have to have some kind of fun during that setup. But he did his trick in three times and 3 variations of it, and I just lost interest really, really quick. I wasn't engaged, and you guys know how much I love magicians, so it was
we know how much you love magicians.
You guys do know. So I don't know. I was just not wowed at all by this performance, sadly.
I like him and watching him, but I agree. I feel like his trick was good.
Yeah.
I actually feel like the big reveal at the end was what killed him.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how he found the specific card that was signed at the end. However, I did see pretty clearly that he took the entire deck and put it in his pocket and then dropped it and then picked the first card out and then the other. So it was very... And I'm a big Magic fan, so I've watched a lot of Magic, so you can just see when he's moving his hand that's exactly what he did at the end. The other stuff, I didn't quite know how he did it.
Yeah.
But then when he did that, I was like, oh, I kind of see that. Oh,
it just felt really long and...
this stage, I don't feel that it was big enough.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, well, all right.
That's it.
Okay, and the next...
You know.
You guys do know. You do know.
You all know.
And so, also, what you guys should be doing is stopping over to iTunes.
Yes.
Giving us a 5-star rating.
Give us a 5-star rating.
Dropping some comments.
Drop some comments.
And also go to YouTube. Press that like button.
Press the like button.
Rate, comment, and subscribe.
Do what she said.
And do it like magic.
Cruising down the street in my 6'4".
We're not going into that.
Yeah, so, next act is 3 Shades of Blue.
3 Shades of Boring.
Thank you, Daniel.
You're welcome. Good
totally
night.
agree. I'm not feeling the 90s Creed-ish music. It felt not original. They're talented performers, but it's definitely not the type of performance I would pay to watch in Vegas. But Kevin wants to talk about it.
I'm gonna just sum this up really quick. I'm gonna be very concise. I was not intrigued, I was not fascinated, and I was not impressed. Daniel.
What did you think? I mean, they sang an entire song about the ocean and dolphins, and that was beautiful.
Daniel, was your favorite show Flipper growing up? Because there's a lot of dolphin references.
My favorite show is Does Kevin Know? That was it. I feel like the lead singer lacks that rock star charisma.
Yeah.
Bottom line. And also, you have to define rock group. Howard keeps saying he wants to see a great rock group.
Yeah.
Now, are we talking rock group like 70s, 80s?
Like Rolling
rock
Stones,
group? Yeah, the Stones, the Who, or even U2. But are we talking about current radio, K-rock? I can't even name a type of that group.
Alternative.
Because if so, then they're okay for that. But they're certainly not a rock group.
It reminded me of last season's Miguel Dakota, but Miguel Dakota was better, in my opinion.
I just think that they were not. I'm not a big fan of theirs.
Me neither. But America is. So,
America.
And that's fine. That's totally fine. We all have
They
different
kind
views.
of are. The judges are.
Well, what do you guys think of Animation Crew, the next one? They basically pretend that they're in a video game. This is the thing. Do you want to start?
No, you already prefaced it by this is the thing, so go ahead and take the thing.
I was going to say this is the thing for me. I got excited when they decided to use like a video game themed background. It kind of reminded me of Kimichi, a little bit of the Zero A feeling as well. But they didn't do much movement. I started questioning, if there wasn't a background, I would be totally disengaged.
I agree.
Okay, let's talk about
The way
it.
you just said that.
Yeah.
No, I agree. They didn't move very much. I just didn't find it. it gets to a point where you have these acts and you're excited to see them, and I thought they let me down. It's basically like a group that you really like, and they had 2 great albums, and you can't wait for their 3rd album. You get it, and you're just like, it's not as good as the first 2. All right. And at this point in this competition, that's what that is, and I don't think it was strong enough. It wasn't a good enough concept. It was just video game.
Yeah.
But I thought they didn't really interact enough with the screen. They didn't move around enough.
If they didn't
with each
have the
other.
screen, nothing would
So
formulated.
I wasn't a fan.
Nope.
I hear both of you guys, but I still have to say this.
You clapped, so.
Yeah, and the reason I clapped is this.
Yes.
Because the applaud sign.
Because the applause sign came
Yeah.
on. Exactly. Which was clearly in Radio City Music Hall today. Or last night, whatever. But at any point.
Tuesday,
whatever. Who's keeping track?
I am.
So, as I was saying. Yeah, that's what you get. So, as I was saying, this is the thing. The thing is, the reason I clapped is because even though this group was not at their best, I think Daniel made a very good point when he said it's like, when you get the first 2 albums and the 3rd album's garbage. Yeah, because because you're that great, you're giving your fans and viewers high expectations for what they are to expect from you the next time around. But the reason why this group is still good is because even though they were not at their best tonight, even though that they were slightly above average of what they're used to doing, their above average is still better than half of the acts that went on tonight. So I think that even though they were not at their absolute best, because we've seen them before. Actually, I don't think we've actually seen their absolute best yet.
No,
but
I
we've
agree.
seen them.
And that's why I was disappointed.
Yeah, but we've seen them doing better, and I just love the fact that they incorporate the digital, the video games. I do understand there could have been a lot more interaction with the video or the digital, whatever that thing was called. But I still like what they're trying to do. I like where they're trying to go, and this group is very, very fun to watch.
Well, it's tragic because if you guys agree that it wasn't their best performance and they can do much better, this was their chance, and they really blew it.
It gets to a point where now has to be revving up to your best.
Right.
And they didn't
Because
do
you have to do your best, and then you have to exceed it the next round if you make it through.
So.
But what do you guys think of Ariel, the opera singer? She's a teenager. She sings delightfully.
What I'll say briefly is, yes, I think she's very talented as an opera singer. I don't think that she has enough charisma. I was bored watching it, and she was very good.
I was kind of bored watching it.
She has this incredible voice and an incredible talent, but now at this stage, it needs to be a show, and it's not a show. She's the opera singer that comes out while there's other stuff going on in an opera, fighting and other people singing, and she'll be on the side doing her thing. But I don't think as a solo act, it was entertaining enough. But
I agree.
Again, very talented.
Yeah, I'd have to say the same. Extremely talented, very gifted, great voice. Is it enough to stand alone and be a Vegas show? Maybe not. But there is something very special about her, and I think that's enough to get her into potentially the finals. But I wasn't jumping for joy over it. I don't know. I would like to see her do another piece too.
Yeah. Maybe something that we could understand, so we can engage with her.
Exactly.
Because she's missing charisma.
Some kind of familiarity or some song that is a fan favorite.
You just confused Daniel when you said that.
Daniel always looks confused. So, anyways, I would love to see her do something that that everyone knows. Because if you notice in these kind of shows, when you do sing a song, that's why they always say original pieces, or even not necessarily original, but just unpopular pieces don't always go over as well. You want to sing something that the fans and everyone can identify with.
Right.
So.
I'm fine with her not singing something everyone recognizes. I just wish it had more of a build.
Right.
Opera's about build. Get it, and then get to that big explosion.
Sure.
Daniel, have you ever sung opera before?
Yes. Let's move on.
Moving on, Uzier, the ladder guy. Oh, there's Daniel's clap.
That's car wash.
Yep.
Well, I am very. Ooh, there you go.
Yes.
By the way, that had have the applause only sign on in here, so
I personally am very conflicted with this act because I really can appreciate how original
Don't be
he is,
conflicted with the
how
door.
different
Use
he
it.
is. But he did a couple flubs, which is acceptable. But it took him way too long to get up that ladder, for me. And it was anticlimactic once he got up that ladder. He just went ta-da! He didn't do a handstand, nothing, and it was just a little disappointing for me. But I can really appreciate what he does. It's different, and that's what America's Got Talent is for. But it wasn't my style.
you know what? I'm gonna take it off of that.
Okay.
I like this guy.
Yeah.
And I like him. I love his energy.
Okay.
I love his little character that he has.
Okay.
And I love his pizzazz.
Pizzazz.
I have no idea. I just made that up. But
Pizzazz is a real word.
I
It
know.
is a
I
real
was
word.
joking.
It was a good word.
I was being facetious again. Thank
Shut
you guys.
up.
So, anyways, the thing is, I love this guy. I do. I love everything about him. And first of all, he did trip the first time around when he came up. And
Or did he?
He did. So
Or did he?
It was
I
obvious.
think he did.
Yeah.
Or
He
did
played
he?
it off though. He played
did.
it off. He was good. He went right back on top of it, did his thing. And the thing was, he was building it up. He went from the smaller ladder to the bigger ladder, and then they bring out the dun-dun-dun-dun, the massive, huge, I don't know, what is it, like maybe 40-foot ladder or something like that?
Yeah.
This is my thing with this. So he's building it up. Everyone's getting excited. He gets to the big ladder. We're all just like biting our nails and stuff like that. So he slowly, by the way, he takes his time. It looks like he was going up slow motion.
Very
It seemed
slow.
like it took about 3 hours for him to get to the bottom to the top.
It took forever.
It took forever. But at the end of the day, he gets there, and it felt like it was finally at the end of the day when he got up there. But when he gets up there, I'm like, okay, I'm ready for the big, the bang. He's going to get up there and do a flip, or he's going to handstand, or he's going to do something amazing. So he gets up there, he stands, and I'm like, okay, it's coming, it's coming. And then he just goes down slowly. And I'm like, you just did this huge build-up. This huge build-up got everybody excited, and then you just let everyone down. So that was my thing with it.
Oh, I'm sorry that the guy who climbed up a 40-foot ladder that is only being held on by 2 posts and then stood on it didn't do a flip or something else.
Yeah,
I'm sorry too.
Yeah,
No, I'm just kidding.
I'm sorry as well too that he didn't have something extravagant to do on top of that. You're damn right. You're
I thought
sorry.
It was fantastic and entertaining. Here's my only thing with him is I want him to do more with comedy as well because he's a funny guy.
Yeah.
My favorite thing that he did was at his first audition when he had Nick come out like he was going to help him.
I'll
then
take my jacket.
Give him his jacket and hat and said, all right, you can go.
Yeah.
So the comedy is great. And what I was a little annoyed about was Mel B said to him after he won, which we will get into who's going on, but he's going on, and she said, I heard you're not going to use the ladder. I think that's a mistake. I think her saying that is a mistake. Let's see what else he can do.
Yeah.
If he's this good, he's great with the comedy and with the physical stuff. Let's see. So he did say he's going to incorporate the ladder, but he's going to do some other stuff, which I think is
great.
really smart.
I'm thankful to hear that because we want to see what other elements he can add to his act. And if it's
Right.
ladder after ladder, taller, longer way to get up, it would just become boring after
Right.
a while.
Not necessarily, because I mean, there's things like this. He used different size ladders. He was spinning around on one of them, doing fun stuff. I mean, yeah, can he do that for a full 60-minute show?
No.
Probably not. But yeah,
58 minutes.
But the thing is, this is my thing. If ladders is his thing, he has to keep doing his thing, kind of like the opera girl. I forgot her name. What's her name again?
Ariel.
Ariel. If singing opera's her thing, you're not going to be like, well, can you come out and do hip hop for us next time?
I would love that.
No, you wouldn't. That's what she does. She sings opera. So this guy, if ladders is his thing, let him use ladders and do it in an entertaining, extravagant fashion.
But he said that he's not going to only use ladders as his next. So he's the one that volunteered and saying, look, I got some other tricks up my sleeve.
Well, we'll see. But if he comes out with another ladder, I would not be
Well,
mad.
he's going to. He said he's going to.
He said he's going to, but he's going to add other stuff
That's
to
what
it.
I'm saying. That's fine.
Moving on.
Moving on to ventriloquism.
Nope.
You don't like this act?
Not ventriloquism, it's puppetry.
There's puppets.
Oh, isn't it puppet? Oh, yeah, that's right. You don't see a person with him.
There's a big difference.
You're right. Thank you guys for correcting me. I appreciate it. I just
always
bowed
will.
like an Asian person. Oh my gosh. So anyway,
Racist.
Just had to get
all
race in it,
Miriam.
didn't you?
Oh, you know.
Speaking of race, I'm glad that we're a very diverse panel.
We are a very diverse panel.
Like the flag and AFTERBUZZ. And
Let's talk about this.
So let's talk about them. Tom Jones, not unusual on a Sunday.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Alexis. Did you guys enjoy enjoy this. Because as much as I wasn't enjoying it, I can totally imagine people loving it in Vegas. So I can really appreciate that. It filled the stage, and it was entertaining for many, I would assume.
I did not enjoy it.
Yeah.
Enough. I thought it was fine, but they've done better stuff. There's no interacting with people, which I feel is a big thing of puppetry. They were just
Puppetry.
lip syncing along, and I didn't think that it was anything. Like, there wasn't comedy to it.
That's true.
There were people, they had the puppets going along with the voices, and they had the saxophones and all that stuff, but there really wasn't anything. It was just watching puppets do a music video. There was nothing fun about it.
The comedy was solely their montage. Without that, we would be completely
Their montage was better than their actual performance.
Yeah. Kevin?
This is the thing.
What's the thing?
This is the thing.
I like how we said it.
This is the thing. You guys remember a long time ago?
No.
Nope. In a galaxy
Well,
far,
good.
far
Allow
away.
me to help you reminisce. So remember a long time ago when you used to watch the Muppets as a baby, a child, pre-adolescent.
Oh, I'm going to rip you a new one after this. Let's see what you have to say.
That sounds violent and scary. So anyways, when you used to watch the Muppets, remember they used to have musical guests on sometimes?
Sure.
One of them remembers when they did Elton John's Crocodile Rock, and the Muppets were singing, and da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
And what did they do? They had a crocodile.
They did have a crocodile. You're right, on the one that they did with...
chasing him. It was comedy.
But listen. There's a reason I'm making this comparison if you let me finish.
I can't wait.
So when you do watch the Muppets and you see them singing along and stuff like that, not only were they interacting obviously with people or with each other, but there were comical elements that went into it. It made it. They weren't just up there singing just a song. They were doing other things to encompass a true entertaining performance. This show, or this act, the puppetry that we just saw, was basically the Muppets like -10. And I thought, and the reason I say that is because it was just them as puppets lip singing a song. There was no element of humor to it. There was no interaction with anybody in it. It was just kind of like, I think they need to go back and research and look at some of the old Muppet shows and see how to make singing, lip singing, and all that funny and interactive.
Yeah.
Daniel, you said you were dying to say something.
No, I agree. You just reiterated my point. I said earlier. No, they need, if they had some sort of fun thing to that, like, they have Irv, wearing like a conga dress or something.
Cute conga dress.
Yes.
That's cute.
Something that was like, oh, that's really funny. That
makes me laugh that you thought of that.
Well, the thing is, the whole thing about Muppets and puppets is doing things that we can't.
Right.
Yeah.
There was nothing on there that they couldn't have humans. If they were humans, lip syncing to that with instruments, it'd be boring and they'd get buzzed.
Yeah, you're right.
That's how I feel about that. Let's move on.
I loved.
Was that supposed to be Kermit right there?
I liked it, but let's move. Let's talk about the next
this
act.
is supposed to be Kermit. Hi-ho, Kermit the Frog here.
That's pretty good, actually.
Why are there so many songs about rainbows? And what's on the other side?
Okay, I should have never told you to.
Yay!
Go
So you guys,
Thank you.
we gotta keep going. Yeah.
I'm Gizmo.
Gonzo.
Cosmo gone. Okay, so we have Damon Rigby. He obviously was the, I guess, stunt part of the Extreme America's Got Talent part. He has a montage of him on James. I think this was the most boring act of the night.
Oh my god.
Everyone can do. Well, no, not everyone can do this. But
everyone can achieve.
Yes.
To this, I feel like
that's what I mean.
It's the same thing that I said the first time we saw him, which was I hadn't seen people do this. But now that I've seen other people do, I saw a commercial where you can rent those and go do it, and that looks super fun.
It does.
And I'm sure he's at the top of his game of those people. But it's not really an exceptional talent.
I agree.
And he didn't really do much this time that he didn't do last time, other than wearing a tuxedo.
It was just not my thing, and I am guessing that live there was no music because
I'm sure they didn't even see the video.
It must have been even
when
more,
it was live,
right?
It's just and the fact is he didn't create it. If it was something he created, and they'd be like, "Oh, that's awesome!"
Right.
No one else can do that, but he didn't.
Nope. Kevin.
Okay, here's the thing.
Here's the thing again. Okay, what's another thing?
The thing.
What the thing?
This is the thing. The thing is that when I was watching this, I felt like I was watching a kid that was maybe periscoping on a vacation with his family in Miami or off the Disney cruise, and him and his family said, you know what, let's rent these fun little things we can go in the water and do things with. And he's like, okay, Dad, let me go up here and have fun and go around with this little, whatever the thing is called, and let me go around and have some fun doing it. Why am I saying that? Because it looks like anybody that wants to pay money to rent one of those things can do the exact same thing. Now, I give the kid credit that he, is a little more advanced at doing that, but at the end of the day, it's not something that nobody else can do.
Yes.
Anyone can go there, and it's kind of like, what are those things called that everyone, you see them, they're like the little skateboards.
I totally know what you're talking about.
But
New
everyone
ones.
rides on them things. It's kind of like those that remind me of. It's like, okay, yeah, some people are kind of advanced on those. They can like go around in a circle, but anybody can rent that or buy it.
And learn to do it.
And learn to do it. And then the last thing I was going to say about this, guys, I have no idea why they invested this huge production into him being James Bond. It was kind of like they were trying to help him out because they knew that his show... Exactly. Yeah. It was like they knew that standing alone with his talent, there was not that much there. So let's us create this high-production James Bond speed getaway in order to enhance the performance.
And if it was James Bond, the villain would be like, oh, he's just going up and down. Let me wait for that moment and shoot him. He's not going anywhere. Oh, wait, no, there he is. All right, he's twirling. Bang. All right, death ray. Let's get him.
I 100% agree.
So the next act was a little bit disappointing because we know he's funny and it's Mike Kaplan. He's a comedian. And it was
a little painful.
Yes, it was painful. That's the right, because we know he's funny, but there was nothing that made me laugh. And every joke was just really hard to understand. It just didn't, it felt dry, super dry, with no laughs. What'd you guys think?
I agree. It's unfortunate because I have seen and heard Mike Kaplan aside from this, and he is really funny. I don't know if he got nervous or if he just took part of a half-hour set and just took part of it that would have built up to more.
Did he talk too fast? What was it?
I don't know. I just don't think... I honestly don't think he believed himself in what he was doing.
Yeah, you can kind of see it.
Good. And then he had like a quick callback at the end to a joke that didn't get a laugh in the first place. Yeah. So that was a little hard to be like, you have to adjust your set. If it didn't get a laugh, don't call it back.
Here's the thing.
Here's the thing. As a comedian, and especially as a comedian, in these kind of shows, America's Got Talent, you have to elevate your performance with every round. Not to say that any other acts can. I mean, whether you're singing, because we were just talking about how the Asian dancers, I forgot the name, didn't elevate.
Animation.
Yeah.
We were just talking about how they didn't elevate there. So everyone has to elevate it, but especially as a comedian, you have to continuously bring it. And the fact that his jokes didn't just fall flat, they felt numb.
Yeah,
all right?
That's true.
Even when he came out, his very first joke, when he was making reference to the water, the guy that went before him, he was like, yeah, I don't know who went before me, but the water thing, he tried to make some kind of joke.
He kept alluding to other acts, and it just didn't work.
There is a funnier way to do it. I just feel like he had it almost felt like the producer said, hey, go out and reference the other stuff. And then he was like, hey, the water act, right?
But here's the thing that was really weird was the judges and the audience, to my surprise, had really good things to say. And the only person that didn't have much to say that was Heidi Klum. And
then she got booed.
And I was just thinking, is there something that we missed?
Well, the thing was, what I was absolutely appalled, and this is where I'm going to call back something else that I had said earlier, when in reference to there being a sign there, or some electric sign that says standing ovation now, I was appalled that this guy got a standing ovation. And I remember I even said it while we were watching that. I was like, okay, they're standing, everyone is standing. Not everyone, but I would say at least 60% was standing applauding. I'm like, did they just not hear what we heard?
Right.
And that's why I was like, there has to be a sign, or maybe they said, we're giving $200 away to everyone that stands and claps at the next show. And like, I honestly was just flabbergasted at it. So I don't know whether I was more offended by his comedy or upset by his comedy, or upset at the fact that people actually thought that was great.
I just guess it was a bad night because we know he's funny, and I just feel that a lot of acts that didn't make it into Radio City Music Hall who happen to have been comedians had a lot funnier diet.
Yeah,
correct.
So it was just a shame. All right,
Let's move on.
Craig Lewis Band. Let's let Kevin take it away.
My best friends.
Okay, once in every generation,
oh boy,
lifetime,
Oh man,
or season of America's Got Talent comes
some coffee. You want some coffee?
a particular talent
Alexis, coffee?
whose gift
Great.
that is so
I'll let
unparalleled,
you go for a while.
unprecedented, so distinguished
Can we get 3
that
copies?
nobody before, during, or even
I have a
after
room for milk.
can honestly compare to them. That particular group right now is the Craig Weiss.
for Daniel.
Is I'm not listening to him.
Daniel, D-A-N.
And the thing is, the thing with Craig, with his band, is that they not only pick songs and do a great job of, or a great rendition of it.
Thank you so much.
But they take songs, they make it their own, and they take it up to another level. I love Otis Redding. I think Otis Redding is a great singer. But what they did with that song was they just catapulted it. And everything from their voice is on point. Everything from, I love their energy when they're out there, because see, half of performing and singing is not just singing the words, but it's an emotional feeling for it. And being able to convey that while on stage, having presence. They have everything, the presence, the emotional attachment to the piece, and the fact that they can sing their butts off.
Oh, they're amazing.
They are absolutely amazing. I'm done. Drop the mic. I don't need to say anything else.
All right.
Good night, guys.
Daniel. Oh, now you're going to do the little
the thing.
Okay. He's doing it.
Now you want to say, here's the thing.
I did not like it.
What?
I think they're not talented.
No, he's
sorry.
kidding. He's
People.
kidding.
I'm
He's
sorry.
kidding.
You're going through a whole
You
thing.
guys are crazy.
You're going through a whole thing just to figure out that it's a joke that I'm doing, Kevin.
Oh, are you being facetious?
They were fantastic. And here, maybe there's a little bit of bias because we had them in and they were great guys, but I don't think so. I was trying to watch it completely unbiased. And I normally don't like singers on this show, but there was something about them that's just so dynamic. And they did a great job. I really enjoyed it and would love to get their album and listen to them.
You guys have really good points. They make their rendition their own.
Yes.
The original. They have very unique voices, and they were in the studio with us a couple weeks ago. So check out that because you get to know them a little bit and get to know how they met and what they like and all that stuff. It was really cool to have them in. But aside that, I also really think this is one thing I'm going to say about this act that is a little negative. And it has nothing to do with them. It is the fact that they had all these embellishments, lights and extra music, and I kind of missed hearing their voices in a more natural state.
Well, that's also because we were talking over it.
But
Because I just walked in. And
That is true. Daniel distracted us while we were previewing it.
So-
no, I thought
but-
I was fine on that.
But this is the thing, guys, and this is my only concern with them. This is my only concern with them. Is will they crown a singer a potential winner of this show?
Yeah, they
because
will.
the show
They
encompasses
did
so
with
much stuff.
Michael Grimm a
They
few
will.
seasons ago.
they'll make it far at least.
And Eugene Landau Briggs or whatever.
But I think
Eugene Landau Murphy?
I mean, this is going into predictions, but I think Zero is going to get it. But
Oh, I disagree
Really?
wholeheartedly.
oh no,
disagree,
you
too.
guys are being sarcastic now.
No.
What?
No.
What? All right.
gonna go to my
We
homeboy
got two
Tiff.
more acts before we got to talk real quick. Freckle Sky, what'd you guys think? I really like this dance duo, but they were a little disappointing this time around, even with all the lights and the precision. It was a little off. Okay.
Do you know
I
how
agree.
hard it is to dance in water?
It's hard, but I
I
wanted
think
more. They weren't elevated from their previous
I feel like
performance.
for a group that has only performed one other time, they did not step it up.
Yes.
They had all that time to practice and be precise, and they weren't precise. I think they did a good job. I enjoyed it, but I don't think that they belonged with the other dance groups.
Yes, I agree.
That are going on.
Sorry. Kevin,
Sorry.
do you have any here's the thing?
Here's the thing.
Sorry.
Here's the thing.
Sorry.
First of all, Daniel's going to stop doing that annoying thing.
You guys, we don't have much time. Let's keep
We
going.
have 2 minutes
rolling.
left. Let's go.
So here's the thing. You have a group like this, and we already talked about how much they were in cohesion and how great they danced and the fact that they were in water, there were spectacle lights and all this other good stuff. I love that because that brought so much to it. I would have liked to have seen, and this is what I was going to say, when you had that much stuff going on, the lights, the water, the big spectacle, you need to match that with the talent. And the talent needs to be as big, if not complement all that other stuff that was going on. And even though their dance, they were both, for the most part, in position. I mean, they were off a few times. I just didn't feel that their dance matched the spectacle.
Yeah.
Kind of like with animation
Well,
earlier.
I think I think dancers should actually be better, and then the side stuff should be embellishments. It shouldn't be the other way around.
Exactly.
And it just didn't work out for them. Okay, let's talk about the last act of the night before we talk about the results real quick. Sharon Irving singing to Glory, Common and John Legend's award-winning song.
Let it be known to all you podcast listeners that was Kevin
That was Kevin.
clapping by himself.
And I appreciate her. She's very talented. I love that song, but it just fell flat for me. I'm sorry. I don't know what's wrong with me. It just didn't work out.
I think the song got ahead of her. I think that it was too big of a song for her. She's a very good singer.
Yes, she
I
is.
don't think she is powerful enough to pull that off. And I didn't recognize the song. I just recognized that she just wasn't selling it to me. And then when she did like a weird sing-songy spoken word version of the rap, I just wasn't, it took me out of it.
Okay.
Honestly.
I completely agree. At the moment she started doing her spoken word, I just disengaged. Sadly,
the
she's
thing.
singing. Come on.
Okay, here's
Come
the
on,
thing.
come on.
She's a very talented girl.
Here's the thing.
We all know that. We know she's very talented, very gifted, has a great voice. I think this was a great song for her to sing, especially just because of the relevance of that song and what we're going through in our nation right now. So I think that alone brings so much more substance to it.
You know what? I forgot cream
Right.
for my coffee. Do you?
So
come on.
I believe that brings so
Come
much
back.
more substance to it. In addition to the fact that she did take on Common's part, which was a rap. She kind of did it in a spoken word kind of
Not
way.
kinda, she did.
But, you know, at the end of the day, I'm grading her on being a singer, not a spoken word artist.
Right.
And
Well,
she
then
was a
don't
great
do
singer.
it.
Well, it did. I'll put it like this. That's what it didn't take away, I don't think,
If
from
you're
her.
Okay.
if you're an opera singer, don't do hip hop.
So at the end-
If you could do it,
You guys, at the end of the day, Kevin, you saying she really liked her
I liked it.
performance?
It was a great song, great selection, great singing. I enjoyed it.
Okay. All right, so now let's talk. I'm going to say really quick the results. It was Uzier, the Latterman guy, Craig Lewis Band, of course, Sharon Irving, Derek Hughes, Ira, who had the Duncan save, Ariel, and 3 Shades of Blue. So those were the second rounds of people going through. But in our humble opinions, what was the best act and the worst act of the night for you guys?
The best act of the night.
And do you guys agree with America?
Okay, do I really have to say what the best act of the night is?
For you?
Do I really have to say what the best act
Craig
of the
Lewis
night?
Band.
Craig Lewis Band, hands down.
Okay.
Hands down. They will be in the top 3.
All right.
I put them up there with Uzier. I think they and Uzier
Yeah.
were the act of the night.
I agree.
And I can definitely see Craig Lewis going to the top.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Easy.
I mean-
Unfortunately, they're going to lose to Piff. I apologize, guys. But
or Zero A, but I'm looking down this list, and I would say Craig Lewis Band was the most phenomenal of the night. Even though I did have a little complaints about Uzier, he is different and he's unique, and there's something very charming about him naturally. I think he was probably close in there, in the top. What do you guys think was the worst?
honestly, it was animation just because I was expecting so much from them after. Because
Yeah.
last time, they definitely had a good act. And I saw, okay, great. They can definitely go higher from here.
Sure.
It was a perfect act for that round, for the semifinals. So I wanted to see it go up, and it went down.
Okay,
So I was disappointed.
Kevin.
Kevin,
Daniel, I 100% do not agree with you
here's
on
my
that.
thing. Here's the thing.
The thing is this: when you say the worst act of the night, I think unequivocally, the comedian. Mike
Kaplan.
Mike Kaplan.
Yeah, he wasn't.
Yeah, I don't know how Daniel can say the animation was the worst actor of the night.
I forgot about Mike.
Okay, I give you a pass there.
Which a proven point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Daniel lost a few inches.
I would say, see, now it's almost going to turn into a non-Disney
Wait, Kaori,
show.
what? That's disturbing, Kaori.
Bookends. You guys said something terrible in the beginning, and I'll say something terrible at the end. But I would say Damon Rippey and Mike Kaplan were mutually the most lackluster of the night. Okay, so before we say goodbye, what are your predictions up to this point, and who do you think is going to take it?
Your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
I think it's either Piff or Zero A.
I think it definitely could be Piff. I think that he has saw from last week that he's going to be working on both the comedy and the magic. And I think he's going to do really great. I think that the Craig Lewis band will be in the top 3.
Yeah.
And that might be it from this evening's performance.
What about you?
Predictions, they'll be in the top 3. And you know what? I'm going to predict that Ladderman. I'm just going to call him
Uzier?
Ladderman.
His name is Uzier.
I didn't know how to pronounce it correctly. I was going to say Uzi.
I think he's going to make it in the top 6.
I think Uzier is going to make it, and he's going to redeem us with a ridiculous performance.
I think so. So I think it's going to be Uzier. It's going to be Craig Lewis Band, Piff, and Zero A are going to be up in there. And I think even though Derek Hughes was a little lackluster this time around, I think he's going to make it pretty far. So he might make it. All right, guys. So that completes our show, and we have a week before we get back in the studio. But where can people follow you in the meantime?
Daniel looks so creepy. I like the way he's.
You can follow me on It's Daniel Weiss on Twitter and my improvisational group, Doctor Who Live Los Angeles on Facebook.
Okay.
Doesn't Daniel remind you of that character from Tales from the Crypt where he's like,
The Crypt Keeper?
The Crypt Keeper. There you go.
Boils and ghouls.
Well, I am not the Crypt Keeper. I'm Kevin John. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at HeyKevinJohn or on my website, www.itskevinjohn.com. KT.
And simple enough, don't forget, guys, you can hashtag ABTV. AGT is the way to get us to check out your comments and your ratings, and also you can follow me at Kaorius, Kaorius, everywhere, anywhere, that's everywhere. So Kaorius, and thank you guys for joining us. We'll catch you guys next week on AfterBuzz TV.
Thank you all! Woo!
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
See you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.